All right, we're live from me, Mr. McKibben's classroom, to talk about the problems under the Articles of Confederation. The first thing that you need to think about when you think about the problems and why this weak, limited government didn't work was you need to think of the can'ts. Okay? You know them for a reason. Now we got to know why they were problems. The first can't was that and the first weakness was that the government couldn't tax. The reason why that is a problem is that countries and governments provide for their citizens by giving them and providing them things. And in order to do that, you need money. Who cleans up after an earthquake, a hurricane, a tsunami, a snowstorm, a blizzard? The government cleans up and the government pays for it. They need money in order to provide for the people. And if you can't tax, that means that there is no money. The second weakness under the Articles of Confederation, the second can't that became a problem, was the inability to regulate trade. Why is that a problem? Think about it. That cheap stuff comes in and everybody buys it up. A government's inability to regulate trade causes job loss. It causes factories to close. It causes inflation, which is directly related to no money. If you go to buy something with a bunch of worthless paper money, they're going to laugh at you. You have no purchasing power with worthless money. The money that the government printed under the Articles of Confederation wasn't worth anything because there wasn't any gold or silver to back it up. Okay? So we've got these three things that happen without a tariff. If there's no tariffs protecting the economy and regulating trade, we're going to have these three things. Okay? Weak military. Okay? The last can't was there was no draft. You can't force people to serve. If you can't force people to serve, this means that you can't put down rebellion. If England decides to march south from Canada, if Spain decides to march east from west of the Mississippi River, there's no armed forces, no armed service to protect the country. They don't even have enough money to pay for the soldiers that fought for freedom during the Revolutionary War. The money is not worth anything. The last thing, and maybe the most important thing, one of the most important things, was this whole idea of equality. You guys learned from class that equality is not fair. In several classes, the person who's in charge of that highly populated state, the state that only got one candy bar to split for all of its people, decided to break it up and give it to their friends. And some of their citizens were left with no candy. Made them pretty angry. Equality is not fair. Distributing things equal isn't fair. Think about this other example from class. Okay? Funding education. Rhode Island has a very small population. Ohio has a pretty big population. If they each get the same amount of federal funding, Ohio students might only get $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 to spend on students per year or per student per year. Rhode Island, because they have less, they might be able to spend $1 million per student per year because they've got the same amount of money, or they get the same amount of money, but they have less people to spend it on. When you do things equally, it produces an inequality in the distribution of goods. So keep those in mind. These are key components of the Articles of Confederation, and the most important thing is Under the Articles of Confederation, the government could not meet the needs of the people. I don't have enough room to write that, but it's extremely important. Under the Articles of Confederation, the government could not meet the needs of the people. It couldn't protect their natural rights. Life, liberty, and property, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Couldn't do those things.